Hello and welcome back to Legend of the Stars 2017 Championship, sponsored by Legend of the Stars. Thank you to Takedo and everybody else who has made this possible. We are going to head back into Zock versus Bravo. We are still in the round robins of day one. Zock managing to take out Bravo in a reasonably short game on Goodlands. Well, that was over fairly quickly. Theta Passage, another map renowned for its real quick gameplay. So let's see how long Bravo can last, or even if Bravo can strike back and manage to get a bit of a leg up and force this into a third match. Alright, let's go to Theta Passage. Right, we have got Zock starting in the top right corner. He is going to go Cybran this time around. He's going to get that first land factory down. We can see one power generator in addition to that mechs. It's going to give him a bit of power before he gets over to this hydro. Down in the bottom corner, we have got Bravo, also going Cybran, so it is a Cybran mirror matchup, but Bravo not opting to get adjacency on the mechs with that factory, instead getting it a little bit closer to the hydro so he can get the engineers out there a tad faster. Maybe that'll give him a leg up in the eco game. They will need to get these hydros up and running and get the spam game happening. That first engineer is already out for Zock, followed up by a hunter. He's probably looking at doing a raiding squad. Yeah, there we go. We've got a mole as well. They'll head across the map, try and pick up some engineers, get an early advantage over Bravo by taking out some of those engineers. Hopefully some mexes. That'll certainly be what Zock is thinking anyway. Alright, the engineer about to get started on the hydro, the ACU about to join him, and we have got a reclaim engineer out as well. So Zock at 9 mass per tick to the 7 mass of Bravo. There we go, that last mass extractor evening the game up. We've now got 3 engineers and a ACU getting that hydro up very, very quickly. Just look how fast that is happening, and we can see an air factory going up next. What is Zock's plans over here? It looks like he will start with second air, and it probably won't be until his 4th factory that he actually puts the air factory down. So that is a difference that we're going to see in gameplay here. It could mean that Bravo is completely outspammed in the early game, or it could mean that there is a couple of very effective bombers out from Bravo to even it up somewhat. The hunter going down there to the mantis that has come out of the gate for Bravo. He's just sending that raiding squad packing back across the right hand side of the map, but he's also got his own raiding group up here, a mantis, not a hunter, so a tad more HP than he would have otherwise had. And it looks like Zock has completely missed that. The radar from him, this mole down the middle, did seem to miss what was happening, and that gives the opportunity for Bravo to get in here and pick up at least one engineer kill. He does have it on radar. I'm not quite sure why Bravo isn't reacting that. There is a very easy engineer and radar kill on the cards. Perhaps he is. No, he is gonna get that, just a little bit tied up at the moment, and only now bringing it back. So that means there is a reaction from Zock, and it's probably going to put a damper on that raid. He had an opportunity, unfortunately, just not quite on the ball enough to make it count. It's at this point that Zock will see the air scout flying overhead, so it does give the intel advantage to Bravo at this point, but Zock will be aware there's a lack of ground units out for Bravo. In comes the bomber. It's going to hit after that engineer first. A nice dodge, keeps it alive and takes a little damage. 95 HP left on that. The engineer, the next engineer gets the same deal, taking exactly the same amount of damage, and we do have an interceptor right now. Zock has completed that 4th air factory. The bomber will get another pass, but to no effect. So actually no bombs were dropped. So that means the bomber actually completely ineffective from Bravo. So we do see the same deal again with a lack of effective bombers. A raid coming down from the right here from Zock. He's got 2 Mantis with him this time. It's not enough to counter all the things that are coming his way, but can they take out this Mass Extractor before they get out of dodge? They sure can. In fact, if they take on 1 Mantis at a time, they could do reasonably well. Well, they'll get a single Mantis kill before the group comes in and finishes them off. Alright, Zock's ACU just pulling back a wee bit from the front line there, not wanting to tango with Bravo's ACU too much at the moment. But he still has got a pretty good unit advantage with his ACU. There's only 5 or 6 Mantis down here with Bravo, and we've got a good squad here, including some AA just in case there is a bomber or 2 headed their way. But I don't think we'll see much more in the way of bomber play from Bravo. It has cost him just too much, and he's had no real win out of it at all. What he will do, however, is be able to pick up these mexes around here, just do a little bit of a raid. He's only leaving a little bit of reclaim, so it's not too bad for him. And he's going to throw down a point defense as well. So Zock looking like an uncharacteristic static bit of gameplay, and Bravo is actually not going to have any of this. He's just going to give the points over to Zock. And that is the end of Bravo's run against Zock, not being able to capture any points. But top marks for trying. At least he is in the finals. That is something to be said, because this is just the top 16 players. So just being here is an achievement in itself. So we won't be too hard on him if he is undone by Zock, who is looking, well, fantastically strong at the moment. During ladder week, he had a very, very high wins to losses ratio. Zock does seem to be on fire, even though he is in Australia at the moment. Still he is looking very, very strong.